Lanterns is a little disappointing to me, to be honest with you. I understand that we're only one episode in and there's plenty of room left to surprise us and shock us and take us in different directions. And I knew going into this that this was going to be a very different Green Lantern. We already knew this was going to be a lot more the buddy cop on Earth in a rural town. But actually experiencing it, I wasn't that impressed. I like the relationship dynamics between John and Hal, but that's not really enough. When we're making jokes left and right about how they're space cops and using the ring and limiting use of the ring. That just feels like excuses, to be honest with you. Like, it feels like the writers like trying to calm down the audience to be like, hey, look, there's in-world explanations as to why they're not in space and why they're not using the ring all that much. When in reality, it just kind of feels like that's what they wanted to tell, not what they should have been telling, if that makes sense. Also, I'm not a prude, but why does every DC project other than Superman, and I guess Supergirl, although Supergirl was a little dark, why does it need to be extremely mature? Why did you have to throw a sex scene into a Green Lantern TV show? That was so unnecessary and like legitimately really took me out of the show, especially when Jon Stewart is supposed to be the zipped up tight, like more militant man, and then he sleeps with, I know he didn't know that he was the dude's wife at the time, but like that made no sense. I'm gonna get this right. I'm not a big comic book reader for Green Lantern, but I've watched a lot of like the animated stuff with Green Lantern, and Jon Stewart is one of the more popular for the animated. This is not that version. It doesn't feel like him. Other than like the militant stuff, it just, that scene just did so much to detract from his character for me that it really is gonna be hard for me to get back into it. The twist at the end of the episode as well is interesting. It was obviously done for shock factor and to explain how the ring passed on. This wasn't explained in the episode, but apparently they did say it in an interview afterwards that this is how Guy Gardner gets the ring. We're gonna find out why it didn't go to Jon Stewart, I guess, but this is after Hal died where it goes to Guy Gardner, not John. So that's where he gets roped in. That decision is fine. I'm not that upset about it because we'll see where it goes. But this whole like, oh, rural Tucket, like it just, I was already nervous about it going in, and this pilot episode did absolutely nothing for me to make me like super intrigued into what that will actually look like. And then again, they just over mature, like Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, this now, like over half the projects that they've made so far, Suicide Squad, have been overtly mature, and it feels like it's, oh, we're different, we're special, we're not Marvel, when in reality, it's like, this is just not necessary. We don't need sex scenes, we don't need all of this in a Green Lantern story.